In 2125, I was on a mining colony on Mars. Just a quiet backwater facility among the stars. And then one day I was minding my own business. I was mining my own ore, and there he was, space asshole, in a truck flying off the ridge. Space asshole, smashing through a bridge. And as he landed, out came his hammer, smashed my boss right in the face. Space asshole, planting charges left and right. Space asshole, all he does is annihilate and fight. I didn't sign up for this, I just wanted to get away somewhere remote. Just a place where I could earn myself a day's pay without being smoked. But every time I think I'm safe, every time I think it's calm, I'm wrong. Space asshole, hammer swinging, buildings falling down. Space asshole, laying waste to this entire town. All the rest are dead, space asshole has prevailed. Only I am left alive to tell the tale of space asshole. Comes out of nowhere to destroy. Space asshole, phantom carnage is all he can enjoy. The space asshole, in a truck flying off the ridge. Space asshole, smashing through a bridge. Space asshole, the space asshole, space asshole, he's the space asshole. floating around the nearest star. All my cares and my concerns, they seem so very far away from me. In this ship of steel and glass, entire lifetimes quietly come and quickly pass in front of me. But light years on, new worlds await, and there among them I shall take the reins of my own fate. Perhaps this time
I'm an alligator.
Carmen Miranda's ghost is haunting Space Station 3. Half the staff has seen her, plus the portmaster and me. And if you think we've had too much of Cookie's homemade rum, just tell me where those basket hats of fruit keep coming from. Don't go down the cargo bay when there's no ship in dock. You just might hear maracas black and get a nasty shock. And if you hear a rumba beat, don't pass the mess room door. You just might see a tangerine come rolling down the floor. We sometimes catch a glimpse of her by station night or day. But when we try to catch her, she just laughs and fades away. The station's chief head shrinker takes his notes and drains his cup. We get rotated often, but she still keeps showing up. We don't know why we're haunted here or why it's her that haunts. We've got a betting pool for all who wonder what she wants. The best odds say she likes the rhythm of the station's drive. They didn't have phase generators while she was alive. Carmen Miranda's ghost is haunting Space Station 3. Not that we're complaining, since the fresh fruit all comes free. But now and then we wonder what it means for the human race, that ghosts of generations past are taking off our space.
Jamie Dawson was the captain of the Christian and her crew, and he flew and fought the Christian in the War of '82. Now the Christian was the tightest ship between here and Charlemagne, and the crew of Jamie Dawson was the same. On patrol in Sector 7, keeping watch on Barbara's son, they would jump by 3 like cruisers, though they weren't a match for 1. As they came to general quarters and they sent out the alarm, Dawson's crew was sure they finally bought the farm. No one living saw that battle, though the fleet was quick to leave. When they reached the site they found a scene no sane man could believe. Dead in space lay 3 like cruisers, cut to ribbons all around, but no sign of Dawson's Christian could be found. There are stories of the Dutchman, the Celeste and Barnum's bride. There are stories of the horseman and the lady at his side. But the tale that chills my spirit more because I know it's true is the tale of Jamie Dawson and his crew. Yes, the tale of Dawson's Christian and her crew. I was second mate on Harris Dream, a freighter on the line. We were shipping precious metals to the colony on 9. It was on the second watch of that most uneventful flight when the pirate ships appeared out of the night. Now to me there was no question, for they had us 4-1, and you can't fight dirty pirates when your freighter has no gun. So we stood by to be boarded by a party and unseen when another ship appeared upon our screen. First we thought it just a pirate, but the vector was all wrong. Then we thought it might be rescue, but the signal wasn't strong. When she didn't answer hailing, we all felt an unknown dread, for we saw her shields were up and glowing red. Now the courage of that single ship is shown by very few, but we never knew a ship could fly the way the stranger flew. Never fearing guns or numbers, like a tiger to its meats, the stranger then attacked the pirate fleets. And the stranger's beams burned brighter than all beams I'd seen before, and the stranger's shields were harder than the heart of any whore. As the battle rent the ether while we watched and shook our heads, the pirate ships were cut to bloody shreds. The pirate ships were cut to bloody shreds. Just as quickly as it started, then the fighting was all done, for the pirate fleet was shattered and the stranger's ship had won. Though we tried to call and thank her, not an answer could we draw. Then she dropped her shields and this is what we saw. There were 30 holes we threw her and a gash along one side, and we knew that when it happened that no crew were left alive. For the markings all said Christian, deep inside us each one knew 'twas the tomb of Jamie Dawson and his crew. Now instead of flying off, the strangers then began to fade, first the hull and then the bulkheads as we cowered there afraid. For as the Christian disappeared, the last to slip from view were the bones of Jamie Dawson and his crew. Yes, the bones of Jamie Dawson and his crew. There are stories of the Dutchman, the Celeste and Barnum's bride. There are stories of the horseman and the lady at his side. But the tale that chills my spirit, and I swear to God it's true, is the tale of Jamie Dawson and his crew. Yes, the tale of Dawson's Christian and her crew.
We are the bold and rakish crew of the good ship Manatee. They say that we're the strangest bunch to sail the starry sea. Oh, rev your engines, match our warp, and catch us if you can. We'll drink a brew when journeys through round old Aldebaran. All hail the Manatee as up she's passing by. They say she is the hardest ship that ever tried to fly. Our captain built a model of the palace at Versailles across the recreation room, and no one could get by. One night she heard what sounded like a mighty cannon's roar. Versailles had blown to kingdom come, as had the rec room floor. All hail the Manatee as up she's passing by. 'Tis true she is the strangest ship that ever tried to fly. The astrogator has a way with plants of every type. She nurtures alien vegetables and cooks them when they're ripe. She had a vegan orchid once that ate the captain's cat, then terrorized the ship's exec until she squashed it flat. All hail the Manatee, heads up she's passing by. 'Tis true she is the hardest ship that ever tried to fly. Our engineer's a singer, but don't tell the captain that. He writes his verses in the hold and wears a cowboy hat. And sometimes on the first watch one can hear a mournful voice sing lonesome country tunes. I wish they'd offer us a choice. All hail the Manatee as up she's passing by. It's true she is the hardest ship that ever tried to fly. Our doctor is a curious soul and operating man. He takes out spleens to Beethoven and Cacciaturian. One day he grabbed a crewman who had called the doc a quack. We couldn't look at what he took. Oh, doc, please put it back. All hail the Manatee as up she's passing by. 'Tis true she is the hardest ship that ever tried to fly. Yeah, all hail the Manatee as up she's passing by. 'Tis true she is the hardest ship that ever tried to fly.
Sleek and clean, the death machines stand ready on the decks. Inside, the men who fight in them run through their final checks. Absorbed in it, the pilots sit, their lives unmoved by hate. For those that fly make others die and never touch their fate. He just flies the bomber, he never sees their eyes when the hell comes down. He just flies the bomber. Inbound trip without a slip, the shuttle drops them free. They set the track for their attack, the backup comms agree. Now trim the jet and don't forget to plot in the return. It's time to go for down below, the planet that must burn. He just flies the bomber, he never sees their eyes when the hell comes down. He just flies the bomber. Make the run so quick it's done, and death screams toward the ground. But moving fast, they're so far past, they never hear the sound. A final turn is from the stern, they watch the mushrooms grow, and fill the night with deadly light, and kill the world below. He just flies the bomber, he never sees their eyes when the hell comes down. He just flies the bomber. Back aboard the shuttle, there'll be time enough to think what they've done. They'll find their antiseptic war won't leave them with the place that they can run. Nowhere to run. deep, untroubled sleep for one with such a debt. And guilt alone will not atone, nor let a soul forget. Those cries and screams, they're not just dreams, imagination's lies. Goddamn the horde, the bitch you whore, you killers from the skies. He just flies the bomber, he never sees their eyes when the hell comes down. He just flies the bomber.
Do me a favor, piano man, please. I want you to write me a song. They call me the hero of Antelope's Run, and I've gotta show 'em they're wrong. You see, it all started a week ago in the bar down on Corridor 3. There was nobody there but us regular bums, two losers, the barman and me. Slopping up booze in the north corner booth was the old man they called Captain Jed, 'cause he owned a tramp freighter, the old Antelope. A ship that like him was half dead. Now Molly, they say, was a crack pilot once, a gal with a brilliant career. But then she started doping on Regulus One and finally washed out down here. And me, well, I wanted the Navy bad, but it seems that they didn't want me. So I stopped chasing stars, started sweeping up bars, for bed, board, and all my drinks free. It was quiet that night with the docks closed down. There was nothing doing for a week. Not a ship was in port but the old Antelope when the red alert started to shriek. The whole station shook like a hurt living thing. Then the lights dimmed and faded away. Then the gravity went, then the air pumps cut out, and the bartender started to pray. Stow that bilge, head for the Antelope now. Jed's voice cut the dark like a knife. The station reactor's gone critical load, so run to the docks for your life. When we got to the docks, we found waiting out there every soul that had been left alive. They begged with their eyes for poor old Captain Jed to tell them all how to survive. Break out the suits, said the captain to them, 'cause it's dark and it's airless and cold. But I swear I can get you all out of here safe, packed into the Antelope's hold. Molly, he asked, can you navigate? Aye, she said, who do we have for a crew? The Antelope needs only 3 hands, he said, and I think our young friend here will do. The confident look that he flashed at me then made my heart turn over with pride. I never once thought about backing away. I think I would rather have died. 200 alive in the Antelope's hold, and the captain and Molly and me. We slammed the lock just as the station blew wide. Jed hit the main jets to get free. Now that kind of G-force is rough on the heart, too much for his ticker to take. So when we came around and we saw how he lay, we knew Captain Jed wouldn't wake. So I took the comm and the engineer boards, and Molly took helm and the nav, with the manuals spread out all over the deck, and her mind for what they did have. She worked at that comp like a crazy machine, while her hands shook like grass in the breeze. but her skill was still sharp, and she jumped us 3 times, never minding the shakes and DTs. 3 jumps made clean, only 1 more was left when the ship's alarm started to blast. Her old worn-out seals had come loose in the stress. We were losing our heat and air fast. On the bridge there was only 1 vacuum suit left. Well, they say Lady Luck is stone blind. Heads or tails was the question I started to ask. Then I felt myself hit from behind. When I came to again, I was sealed in the suit. She was belted down tight in her chair, with her hands on the console, a smile on her lips, and the ice on her face and her hair. Here's the instructions to get us all home. I saw she had left on the screen. If any old shipmates should ask after Moll, just tell them she finally died clean. I made the last jump just like she'd told me to, and I brought the ship in like she'd said. They call me a hero now for what I did, but they don't mention Molly and Jed. So write me that song now, piano man, please, and sing it out often and loud, so they all know the story of one kind of hero, the kind that makes everyone proud. 'Cause some kind of heroes are lunkheads like me, who only do things that they're told. And some kind of heroes are out for the glory, they're heroes on purpose and cold. Some become heroes for bravery, sure, and some just because all is lost. But a few are the heroes, like Molly and Jed, who give without counting the cost.
What do you do?
He wasn't quite sure what went wrong, just that the engines blew and flung him hard against the wall, and him the only crew. He felt like he'd been broke in half. He passed out twice from pain, and when he heard the voices, he was sure he'd gone insane. Just 2 of them at first it was, and then a dozen more. He blinked to see 2 women kneel beside him on the floor. He thought they might be angels, but they weren't like angels much. No wings, no robes, just plain gray spacer coveralls and such. You're not dead yet, my friend, and it's not quite your time to go. The first one said, now look, your rescue beacon's down below. Ed says that there's another ship not far away at all. You still have 2 good arms, my friend, so grit your teeth and crawl. They winked out then, the pain clamped down, he thought he'd move no more. Another one appeared and sat beside him on the floor. Come on, Tovarich, this one urged, you'll make it, I don't doubt. Show me some of this Yankee guts I've heard so much about. It seemed to take eternity to crawl from here to there. The pain at least 100 times was more than he could bear. But every time he'd start to quit, fly down, give up and die, another would appear beside him, urging him to try. He reached the beacon in a daze of fever, mist, and pain. He hit the activator, and he saw them once again. Remember, friend, the woman said, when death is closing fast, it's then you try your hardest, for the darkness will not last. He passed out then, the rescue came, they brought him safely home, and he forgot it all until he got to Luna Dome. He passed beneath a hologram that stands above the door and recognized those faces there. He'd seen them all before. Gus and Ed and Roger made him hold to hope and try. The Russians, Ronald, Krista too, they wouldn't let him die. He knew whose words had saved him, and he knew that in the end he'd go to join their company and greet them as a friend.
It's been 2 years since I saw you, since I stood upon.
Now I met Sam Jones on a dockside night in a rundown Viking bar. A kid of maybe 15 years at that purely nowhere star. He had no ship, he had no skills, no name or family. And he looked at me like a thirsty soul at a boundless salty sea. For space is wide and good friends are too few. Captain, take me with you. Captain, I'll work for free. I was spacer born and stranded here. Dockside's not for me. Now that tale sure is an old one. Some stationer unwise had slept up with some spacer love and got herself this prize. For space is wide and good friends are too few. The kid grows up all restless and dreams of faring free. The stars and the worlds and foreign docks and things he'll never see. A spacer's more than born, I said, he's trained from infancy. And you've grown up station side, boy, you're no use to me. For space is wide and good friends are too few. Well, I saw him take that hope of his and turn his face away. Not give up, no, he'd never quit, just try further down the way. Hey kid, I said, you're stubborn if you work with half that will. Well, our engineer could use a hand, but we've got a berth to fill. For space is wide and good friends are too few. Stood there with that scowling look as if he hadn't heard. And then the tears ran down his face, but he didn't say a word. No, he never was much for talking after we took him on board. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir, were all the words that he'd afford. For space is wide and good friends are too few. Now the engineer, Kate Meacham, well, her eyes were going bad. She knew I knew, and that kid I sent drove old Kate raving mad. Out she'd yell, and he'd lie low until old Kate got cool. Then back he'd go, and he'd do the scut, while Kate would call him a fool. For space is wide, and good friends are too few. In time, Kate's eyes got much worse, and every crewman knew. But Kate herself, well, her heart would stop on the day she left the crew. That close-mouthed kid would never talk, he just covered Kate's mistakes. Kate, he'd say, check the number 4, or Kate, that's 9.8. For space is wide and good friends are too few. Now we made our rounds of the ports we used from Halley's to Almar. And one jump, all of our luck ran out at a little K-class star. We hit a rock, a vane went down, the ship went kiting through. No way to stop, and no damn thing that a rescue ship could do. For space is wide and good friends are too few. The number 3 bar, Kate Meacham said, that's broken on that vein. I'll send a man up, I said then, first hope I'd entertained. No way, said Kate, it's outside work, we can't fix that from here. And to pull that thing with a Hy-Vee charge is a job for the engineer. For space is wide and good friends are too few. Now we rode in dust at 3/4 sea with our shields all down and null. Kate, I said, it's hell out there, dust is chewing up our hull. It'll chew a hard soup faster still, 10 minutes is all you'll last. Die an hour later, old Kate said, I'll just work a little fast. For space is wide and good friends are too few. Well, old Kate put that hard suit on, she went out in the driving hail of a Hy-Vee gas that scoured our hull with a shriek like a banshee wail. Her voice came back so thin and weak that we could hardly hear. I'm on it now, I'm at the vein, I've got the cover clear. For space is wide and good friends are too few. And silence then, a long, long while, all drowned in static hiss. Damn this thing, my faceplate's fogged, my sight's gone all to mist. Kate, I said, get back inside, someone else will go. But then I heard the aft lock work 2 levels down below. For space is wide and good friends are too few. Steady, Kate, said the kid's low voice, then while the minutes ran, easy, Kate.